Greetings. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for sticking around, even though I've not been filming a lot on here, and actually the last little while I haven't been filming on sound journeys either, but just a lot's been going on, and so I did want to share some of that. I would say the thing that I want to talk about is ancestral and collective healing, because that's kind of the stage that I've reached. And I think I was doing ancestral healing before, but I needed support in doing it. I did it with a therapist together. And I think I've talked about that in other videos, but a shift happened in July when I was working with my amazing friend Miriam, who does Bowen Therapy, who I'm now we're working together. She's doing Bowen Therapy and I'm doing sound healing at the same time, and it's like amazing at her clinic. But I hadn't done a session with her in like at least a year. And then in July, I just felt like I needed to do a session with her. And it was very powerful. Basically, when she was doing some energy healing on me, she saw me giving birth to myself. And she told me that. And I was actually at the same time feeling like I needed to do womb healing. I'd been doing womb healing for a bit. And yeah, so we didn't talk about it ahead of time. We were both in that energy, and or she witnessed, I guess, what my healing process was in like her own way. But somehow after that day, I just felt this centeredness that I had never felt before, which changed everything. I was able to start writing more. I was able to start doing many things and be much more centered and balanced. And then around the middle of August, suddenly all these things came up. I think in the collective, I started being very much more connected to the collective energy. So when the collective, like humanity, when a certain like number of people, I think this is how I understand it, are experiencing a certain emotion, it affects the whole collective, all the human beings. But a lot of us are not aware. I certainly wasn't aware, but I started becoming aware of this. And also my amazing friend Lisa, we would always talk about like, are you angry today too? Like, what's going on? And it would be this feeling of like, there doesn't seem to be a trigger for me of like why I would feel angry or why I would feel whatever. And it was actually like the collective. And then it's as if like everything started coming up for me to clear, as if I was like ready for another stage of growth. And so there was a lot of clearing of things from the past. And then about a week ago, I got to this point where I would experience, for example, hurt, but then I realized, oh, I can't just heal my hurt. I have to heal, and not just, and for a bit I was healing my ancestors, but then it was like, okay, not just your ancestors, also other ancestors, also the collective. And a lot of the method, well, I would tune into my intuition and it would tell me what method to use. A lot of times it was writing. It was like, write the story or write a poem. Like for the hurt, I had to write a poem about all the hurt that women have experienced over centuries, basically. Or if it was my ancestor, it was like, write the story of your ancestor, and I would like see pictures and it would just come through me, the writing of the story. Then there was a time I was clearing fear, and that was more like, no, I just needed to drum. And this was also a very collective thing. Like all the fear from the past, and then how, because if human beings don't heal the trauma of the past, it just keeps coming up, right? So all the fear around COVID and the government and all these things, which I will not get into, but just to say, like, there's been a lot of fear in the collective, and it's because of the fear that's unhealed from past trauma, ancestral trauma. That's what I think it is. So yeah, so that's been challenging work for the last few weeks for me. And I think also why I couldn't create sound healing videos, it just like didn't have it in me, you know. And it's all about also just being present, being connected to what's happening in the moment. And things can shift quickly, you know. So you may feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything this morning, but then now I do feel like, you know. And just listening to yourself, and when things need to be cleared, they need to be cleared. So, and the other thing that's been amazing, besides the work with Miriam, I also started taking a homeopathic remedy, which I had tried homeopathy before, but it didn't seem to do that much. But then one day I just felt like I needed this remedy. And then the next day Miriam tested me and it was the right remedy, even though I don't know that much about homeopathy, but I think it's amazing. I want to study it eventually. So I've been taking this remedy and it's really been shifting things. Like I feel kind of like this feeling of like more of being myself, my true self. So I guess, yeah, that's what's been happening. And I think if you have experiences with healing, collective or ancestral trauma, please share. I've also been feeling a lot of things in my body, much more than I used to. And so I feel like I'm still in the process, and just have to go with where things take me. So, but I did want to give this update. And for those of you who watch my Sound Journeys channel, I will be back, I promise. I every morning when it's weekend and I can film my check-in, and I haven't been feeling it, but I'm restarting my fall sound healing classes, my group classes today. So maybe that'll put me more into that mode. I don't know. I've just really been enjoying the work at the clinic. And maybe that's been enough for me, but I definitely love making videos for my channel. So I will definitely be back. So please be patient. In the meantime, I'm sending you so much love. And please take good care of yourselves.